Hello, everyone. We are here with our expert, the Dr. Eric Vanderberg, and he is an expert of the marine indicators. So he will explain us about more things we have to know to put in practice our discovery project. So we are going to start with the interview. So the first question is, what are the indicators used for?
Indicators give us an idea of the health of the environment, to what extent the environment is impacted by human activities.
Okay.
Now, the second question. What are the things that I need to know to identify marine indicators?
Generally, you need a good understanding of the environment and how things interact in that environment. For indicators, we're looking for those species that are the first species to be affected. That is to say, the most vulnerable species. So, the things that are most sensitive to changes in the environment. That's what we're looking for.
Okay. So knowing that, what do the marine indicators indicate?
When we see changes in populations of the indicator species, that tells us that there are changes in the environment. Any change indicates that there may be a problem.
Okay.
Two examples. Changes can mean an increase in populations, or changes can mean a decrease in populations. So, for example, on coral reefs, we are looking for the health of the corals. When we see a lot of coral dying, that is an indicator that there's a problem. It doesn't always tell us immediately what the problem is, but it's like an alarm bell that gives you an idea precisely. On the same coral reefs, if we see an increase in the amount of algae, that is also an indicator which tells us that something is changing, because the algae should not be so abundant on coral reefs.
Okay.
Now, why are the ocean habitats changing?
There are many reasons for change. Some have to do with pollution, contaminants that we are putting in the ocean.
Increase of the population?
For example, when there's an increase in algae, that is usually due to an increase in human wastes and nutrients. Other changes, a lot of the changes in coral populations right now that are being documented look like they are due to possible climate change effects. We are not 100% sure, but the data is indicating that.
Okay. How the changes in our oceans affect aquatic species?
Basically, that's similar to what we were talking about before. Any change in temperature, changes in nutrients favor some species and work against others. So the changes are many-fold and due to more than one single cause.
Now, what could we change to have a good ocean habitat?
That's a big question. Obviously, can you repeat the question, please?
What could we change to have a good ocean habitat?
Correct. The ocean is being influenced both by human wastes and by climate change. Human waste we can control. That we can clean up the rivers, make sure that we dump less waste in the open ocean, and control pollutants at the source. as far as changing the climate, I honestly don't think we can change much there. At best, we may be able to adapt.
So, can we introduce K species to change ocean habitats?
Introducing species is always a very dangerous
Idea.
it's a dangerous idea because often introduced species have unexpected effects. When a new species comes in, it can have many unexpected changes for the environment. They may start eating species that they're not supposed to eat. They can multiply out of control. So at this point, I do not recommend species
Not a good
introductions.
recommendation.
How human activities affect ocean and how do they affect marine indicators?
Well, that's what we've been talking about all
Yes.
around, that human activities benefit some and affect
But affects
negatively.
more than make a benefits.
Yes. The activity that we have not talked about is fishing, and human exploitation of the ocean, especially with fishing resources, currently is having very big effect and widespread effects by removing the top predators, and almost 80% of all fishery resources are currently overexploited with major drops in abundance.
Oh, so what is the importance of marine indicators in our life? When we are working in the ocean or something like that.
Okay. The indicators overall are giving us an idea of what the health is of the oceans and our own life, what happens on the land depends very much on what's happening in the oceans. To give you an example, right now, we are suffering drought, dry, because of what's happening in the oceans. The El Nino effect is producing warmer climate on land, which is reducing the amount of rain, which is affecting our crops and well-being. Also, the temperature changes affect storms and hurricanes, which again can have major effects on us. So what's happening in the oceans is very important
Very
for
important
our
for
lives.
us. More here in Central America that we have the two oceans and
Everywhere. Everywhere on the planet.
all right. So the last question.
And the last question is, what could we do to conserve marine indicators?
Mainly, change of lifestyle. Live in harmony with nature. Not live to exploit nature
Only
for...
thinking in the economic benefits and
Yeah, forget economic benefits. Think about survival.
well survive.
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
So that's it. Thanks for your report and that's it.